Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And with Amanda Nunes' taco good and ducked, Cris Cyborg is calling out Cindy Dandois, Pam Sorenson, and Ediane Gomes for a UFC 228 featherweight title defense. Now, this is what I was expecting, especially hearing the news that Amanda Nunes signed the contract to fight Cris Cyborg, but she wasn't ready for UFC 228. She actually said she'd rather fight at UFC 232. I believe she said she's still injured, but you know how that goes. I mean, whenever these chicks call out Cris Cyborg, they clout chase, really. They use her name, say, oh, is she, people get to look at her like, oh, she thinks she can beat Cyborg? Who is she? Okay. And then when Cris Cyborg gets ready to fight, a lot of these girls are, nowhere to be found. But there has been some girls that have called out Cris Cyborg from outside the UFC that haven't got their opportunity. And now it looks like one of them may get that opportunity at UFC 228. Now, with that being said, this could very well, now that Cris Cyborg has called these girls out, it could turn into the same situation. That one of these girls that have mentioned Cris Cyborg's name in the past, like I believe Cindy Dandois in a recent interview with CSH Combat Sports, she talked about, I believe that on the ground I could stand with Cyborg. That didn't really make sense, stand with Cyborg. But on the ground I could hang with Cris Cyborg. Clearly I'm not going to be able to outstrike Cris Cyborg, but hey, I might be able to submit her, so I'm down to get in there. I'm a legit featherweight, so... And then on top of that, you got Pam Sorenson, who also spoke with the coach. And she's down to fight Cyborg. But now with that being said, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't know much about Ediane Gomes, who you see on the bottom. But with that being said, these girls have both shown interest in fighting Cyborg. Now they may get the opportunity at UFC 228 since Amanda Nunes seems to be ducking her motherfucking taco. Now, who will it be? Not sure. The UFC recently announced the Ultimate Fighter Season 28. They're going to have female featherweights. And these are some of the girls that WMMA fans consider legit featherweights that we were kind of upset didn't get signed to the show. Because you're supposed to be making this division for Cyborg that we've heard about, the women's featherweight division. It seems like there's girls out there, but the legit featherweights haven't got signed yet. Now, Megan Anderson did, but they put her against Holly Holm. So now potentially we could see Pam Sorenson or Cindy Dandois getting the opportunity to fight at UFC 228. And I think they're the most popular out of the two. So and also, I don't know much about Ediane Gomes, so that's who I would give the nod to, and that's just my opinion. But with that being said, maybe Ediane Gomes gets the shot. I don't know much about her. Coach will tell you more about her than me. But with that being said, we'll see what happens. UFC 228. Looks like it's going to be one of the greatest nights of WMMA, that I can remember. And we've got two of the best pound-for-pound female fighters on the planet, if not the, Valentina Shevchenko and Cris Cyborg. And also just announced for this card was Tatiana Suarez versus Carla Esparza. That's brand new. I put that video over on Patreon, so if you're interested in that, you can go check that out over there for free. But yeah, and also Nico Montano just signed the contract, it looks like, to fight Valentina Shevchenko, which I'm about to do a video on next. And real quick, full-time family, before you forget, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying this video. And also, if you're new, hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to see more videos like this, just check out the video description, the Full-Time MMA Dojo over here at patreon.com/fulltimemma, and you can see a lot of other cool things, including the goals of this channel, which is something new. So make sure you go check that out. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of the video. So with that being said, I'm ready to get to that. It is what it is. Cris Cyborg has officially called out Cindy Dandois, Pam Sorenson, or Ediane Gomes for UFC 228 since Amanda Nunes is hurt and cannot fight until next year. Cris Cyborg says, I do not need to wait 10 months without a fight. I can fight at UFC 228 or UFC Sao Paulo. They are all ranked at top 10. I am healthy and in the prime of my career. I'm ready to fight now and should not be penalized because Nunes is hurt. Hashtag Cyborg Nation, hashtag Cris Cyborg, hashtag UFC Fight Night 137. That's why Cyborg commented on my video and put that hashtag UFC Fight Night 137. It makes sense. She could potentially headline that card. It's going to be in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And, that's another landing spot for a potential Cyborg title defense. especially if it's going to be against one of these girls that's not already in the UFC, right? You probably wouldn't have Amanda Nunes versus Cris Cyborg, champion versus champion super fight on a fight night card, but you could have at UFC 228. So in the meantime, in between time, while Cris Cyborg waits on Amanda Nunes to heal up, she's willing to fight one of these girls, and she's also willing to fight them at either location, either in Dallas at UFC 228 or at UFC Sao Paulo, UFC Fight Night 137. That's also a potential. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. Let the full-time family know what you think about Cris Cyborg calling out Cindy Dandois, Pam Sorenson, and Ediane Gomes for UFC 228 or UFC Fight Night 137 in Sao Paulo. And P.S. WMMA fans, I just wanted to put this out there and let you guys hear the potential card that we could have had at UFC 228. Like, how big this night could have been for WMMA would have been absolutely insane. You're talking about we could have had Valentina Shevchenko versus Nico Montano, Cris Cyborg versus Amanda Nunes, and Carla Esparza versus Tatiana Suarez all on the same card at UFC 228. If Amanda Nunes signed the contract. But she said she's not healthy, and so it is what it is. But man, that would have been crazy. Arguably three of the best pound-for-pound WMMA fighters on the same pay-per-view. Cris Cyborg, Valentina Shevchenko, and Cris Cyborg, Valentina Shevchenko, and Amanda Nunes. Holy smokes. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And so it is what it is. But man, that would have been crazy. Arguably three of the best pound-for-pound WMMA fighters on the same pay-per-view. Cris Cyborg, Valentina Shevchenko, and Cris Cyborg, Valentina Shevchenko, and Amanda Nunes. Holy smokes. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And this is the hardest working MMA channel on YouTube. We provide daily updates, predictions, betting advice. We do songs. We do fantasy fights. We've interviewed Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Bruce Lechemedio, and Felony Charles Bennett, all in just 1 year as an MMA channel. We're one of the fastest growing MMA channels on the net, but we're still small, so make sure you guys go check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo if you want to learn how you can become a full-time MMA black belt. And while you're there, you can see where this MMA channel started from, some of the goals we have for the channel, and even more cool videos just like this one if you enjoyed it. So thanks again to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. And also, if you're just lurking and this is your first time seeing a video, appreciate that as well. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.